Hello, my name is Jeannie, if you don't know me. And I'm making this video because I just feel the need to give my perspective on this love issue. Love is actually pretty supernatural, it's a driving force of life, and human beings can't thrive properly without love um, in whatever form it comes. So, um, love is multi-level, multifaceted. I mean, and it's healing. There's so many different things about love that we take for granted. So we label things that we love and say we love it, and really it's not. That's not what it is. And so we have a misconception on what love is. And then we're looking at for a relationship, and we're not actually uh for the right reasons. Our motivations are incorrect. So the younger you are, the less likely you are to be looking for a relationship for the right reason. And I'm not trying to say it's not because you're intelligent or anything of that nature, because there are some of the smartest people in the world are young. However, experience can teach you things that you may not have known, and doesn't necessarily have to do with your intelligence level. Um, so someone, for example, Einstein was not good at schoolwork, but he was the famous scientist. So, I'm just making that point to say I'm not judging anyone's intelligence level. However, when you're younger and you have less experience, then you tend to look at a relationship as a way to substitute something you're missing, which is, in a sense, it's true, but not in the way that it is when you're not fully developed or fully ready for it. So, usually, when you're young, you're looking for someone to tell you you're beautiful, or to tell you you're handsome, or basically to tell you things to boost your ego. That's normal. There's adults that still do it. Um, a lot of times children will date to be a part of the in crowd, or to seem more cool, but may not necessarily be ready to date, because when you're real insecure when you're a teenager, and it's for a reason. God makes us the way we are for a reason. Don't think that this generation is the only generation of insecure teens who've been picked on and bullied. It's not true. It's been going on for generations. However, that natural feeling of insecurity is how we stay chaste as long as possible. Otherwise, we probably, dive into sex much earlier. But because of our insecurities, we tend to wait a little bit longer than if we didn't have them. And so dating for ego can cause you to do it sooner than you need to. And therefore, it's like your body can get used up, just like a car can get used up, and it'll get to the point where it just don't want to function properly no more. And the body is the same way. The heart, the mind, the soul, all of those things have like meters on them. They only last so long, right? And we know that because we watch people pass on to some other place than here, and the body gets left behind, and we know that they cease to exist here on this earth. And so, with that said, that I don't even remember what I was saying no more. Um, so ego, just to get to the point, ego is not a good reason. So your friends can boost your ego, your parents, your family, you can boost your own ego. Your ego can be weak or strong, and you can build it just like a muscle. So if you feel like you're shy and your ego, not your ego, I didn't mean your ego. If you feel like you're shy and you're not outgoing, or whatever your personality isn't where you want it to be, you can practice. You can actually work on being a better you, whatever that might be to you, not to somebody else. See, that's the thing. We need to make sure we're focusing on what makes us better for us. But then once we've passed the stage of knowing what's better for us, and it's never going to be a perfect process. We're never going to know everything about ourselves. Even to the day we die, we're going to learn new things about ourselves. So imagine a mate or someone in the relationship, how much you're going to learn about them through the entire course of the time that you're with them, whether it's a short period of time or all the way till you pass away. So that's the one thing I think that people assume, is that they're just going to know their mate, their partner forever. They're just going to know everything about them, and there's never going to be anything that comes up that surprises them. No way. I surprise myself every day. I'm like, are you kidding me? I cuss myself out. I'm a little bit crazy. But the fact of the matter is that, you have to make yourself comfortable with who you are first, because you're never going to be perfect. So you can't perfect yourself. Saying that you're going to make yourself perfect is a never ending journey. But you have to be okay with yourself first before you jump into a relationship. You cannot go into a relationship looking for an ego boost, because it's going to be basketball slammed right back down to the ground, because nobody's perfect, and no one's going to tell you you're perfect, because nobody's perfect. And if they tell you you're perfect, they're lying. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, there's just understand that you have to be okay with you first. So a lot of kids who are under the age of 18 and even 21, if you ask me, these kids are just learning about who they are. Their bodies are changing in ways that are terrible, if you ask me, but they have to adjust to this change. They have to become a better person. Think about being me. My example is I'm a woman, and I had to I had to go through puberty. And I know men have their own things they have to deal with. But as a woman, what I look like being in a relationship before I know what's going to be even happen to my body here soon. I got some stuff that's going on all up in this area here and all up in this area down here, and shoot all up under this area down here. And I need to figure this out real quick. And then once you figure that out, you learn there's more to learn, so it's learning your body. You shouldn't be, okay, this is just my personal opinion, and it really it's not a judgment, because I don't want people to think that I'm not a judgmental person, but I process things a lot. I think about things a lot, and I look at the outcome of a situation and the happy meter of a human being, if that makes any sense, to judge the situation, not the person. So if you're under a certain age and you're trying to date, if you're a woman, if you guys are going through puberty, chill it. Like, you're not ready. You're not going to be, if you marry this person, I'm telling you, it's like hitting the lottery. Okay. And even then, it may not last longer than once you turn 21, you probably divorce them, because you've grown into an adult who is totally different when it comes to decisions and different things than when you were a kid. So, I mean, you could just watch these shows they have with these teenage parents, and you see that their life is in chaos, and all they focus on is this weird spiraling out of control relationship, and these children that are adding to the pressure. Like, come on, people, we got to do better somehow. That is not love. That is not love. That is somebody trying to tape together a busted balloon. Like, that was a forced scenario. They basically had sex because they thought it was what they should do for whatever reason, whether it was for themselves or for society or for their friends or whatever, but they did it. And then they got into this situation where now they're thrust into adulthood. That's not okay. So that's not, to me, that does not qualify as a relationship that's worth saying, oh, this is my husband. That's like a science project waiting to go wrong. But it's all good. And it's a recovery process. So we've all been through it. But it's because society makes it okay to be so young and get into these relationships where, this is just too much. Friendships are very valuable when you are looking for love or attention or affection, or friendships give all of those things. The only thing that you're not going to get from a friendship is sex. You can even kiss people that are your friends. Look at that. Oh my God. But once you cross the sexual boundary, things change. And not just for you, but for the other person. And it's, you learn more about yourself and you learn more about the other person. But if you don't know anything about yourself, how are you going to figure things out? It's harder the younger you are. And then, okay, so let's get out of the young realm, because I really honestly, we already know your hormones are going crazy. You think you're cute as you can be. You think the guy that you with or the girl that you with is cute as they could be. And y'all just need to show each other y'all bodies and see what y'all working with. Okay, that's not a relationship, but okay, it's good. I mean, this is what we do. But if you want a successful relationship, and more than likely that's going to appeal to people who are past a certain age more so than others, because young kids just want to do what they want to do. And when you're gorgeous or when you've got a body, you want to just show it off. But what you don't understand is you're using it up. You're using up your body, whether you're a man or a woman. So I don't know. Have you ever thought about the fact that some men, they go impotent at a younger age than others? Maybe it's because they started having sex younger. Maybe if they would have waited 10 more years of their childhood, then they would have had 10 more years of their adult life with an erection. But that's just something to think about. Like, we have only a certain amount of time to be human. And I guarantee you that it doesn't start ticking when you hit puberty. I think it's more about when you actually cross a certain boundary, that having sex is when you're literally at, good God, having a baby definitely does things to your body. So I'm sure that uses you up in a sense. We know women's teeth get weak, their hair falls out, they get sick, they go, hormones. So, you're really using your body up. I read the Bible, and so I use the Bible as an example for myself a lot. So if I use that as a reference, again, it's not a judgmental thing. I'm not trying to cross anybody over as necessarily. Of course, let me change that. Anyone that has questions about my religion, you're welcome to ask, because of course I want people to convert, but I'm not judging and I'm not forcing, and I don't look for sneaky little ways to do it. So I'm just making a point that I study the Bible. And I find that the people in the Bible in the beginning, when God created us, so this is an intentional, what his intention was for us to live 1,000 years apiece. That's a long time. Think about it. We don't even live a tenth of that right now. So we were living 1,000 years. We didn't have our first child till we were almost 100 years old. Okay, let me set the standard here. We die before we're 100 years old now. And we were having our first child at 100 years old back in the day. So think about how much of a baby you are, even at 18. We're still babies when we're dying. Like, we've pushed ourselves to a place where we're getting old way too young. We don't have to get old that young. We can at least live 100. Okay, let's just say 100. There's a lot of stuff on this planet to mess us up, but we could live 100 years if we wanted to, if we treated ourselves properly. And it's not just about what you eat. People just be like, I'm going to go on a diet. It's not about diet, because you can kill yourself from stress. You could kill yourself in your relationship. You could be the healthiest person in the world and your husband stab you in your sleep, or your wife. So I'm just saying, healthy is bigger than just what you're eating. It's everything. It's when you consume, your ears consume, your eyes consume, your nose consumes, your mouth consumes, your heart consumes, your soul consumes, your skin consumes. I mean, I can go on and on. You're consuming oxygen, not just through your nose. You're consuming water, not just through your mouth. And so with that said, when you're in a room full of people that smoke, if you don't smoke, you might as well pick up a cigarette. You might as well, because you're actually smoking 2 of each cigarette in the room. So you're actually consuming cigarettes even though you don't smoke them. And so that's the part where it's hard, because we live in a society where people consume. That's what they do. They just they eat, smoke, drink, screw, marry, get divorced, and keep marrying and get divorcing. I mean, we are definitely gluttony. By the time some people are 80, which is the lifespan, you've married 4 times, you've got 5.5, 6 kids, maybe by different people. And I'm not saying that to be like on a high horse, because I have children with different people, but it's not a goal. That's not what you're looking for. And it's hard. It's not to put anyone down. It doesn't make you less of a person because you ended up in that situation. We're in a world where society's off kilter, and teaching children about sex way too young, and teaching teenagers about sex way, I mean, just things that should be learned in home are being learned at school, and things that should be learned in school are being taught on the street, like, I don't know. Anyway, so I went on that whole rant just to say that let yourself mature. Let yourself, however fast you mature, find out who you are. Be comfortable with who you are. Not just comfortable with how cute your body looks, but everything about yourself, because you're going to think that person is judging you, and they might. And if you know yourself, then you'll know something's not right with your relationship, because yourself will be acting wrong. You'll be off kilter. You'll be doing things you don't normally do, and making yourself upset. And it's because your relationship is off, or the other person is, and you know yourself. And that helps you know that the scenario that you're in is oh so wrong. So I'm going to pause the video, because I'm not sure how long videos can be. I'm going to pick up where I left off, and just want to talk more about that supernatural love thing. Love is huge, and it's underrated and overused, and definitely want to touch bases. So thanks for listening. Please weigh in. I'd love to hear any stories or comments or whatever. I learn as I go every day. I'm not claiming that I know anything more than another person, but I can definitely go by what I've seen in my lifetime. So please feel free to leave comments. If you like, click thumbs up. And if you want to get alerts when I have other videos available, just click the subscribe button, and I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. This is new for me, so I appreciate you guys just listening in and not picking away at all my little weird things. I'll get better as I go, but I definitely feel the urge to speak about this, because it's very important, and it's really based on love. Love is huge. All right, but I do love you guys, and I mean that in a spiritual sense. Thanks. Bye.